All right, guys, fire away.
Christian and Jalen said it's just happens, the slow starts and maybe not having the best first halves, but then being able to flip the switch.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
listen,
how you look at it?
I'm going to wear that one today. I mean, that's on me. You know, we got a little maybe too tricky with our game planning, and to be a good team, you can't trick the game, and that's on me. You know, we were trying some things maybe, defensively that I mean, we obviously weren't doing a very good job of doing, and I thought it took some of our aggression away, and I just thought we were playing pretty lazy overall, and probably a lot of that was the scheme.
Was there something about Oregon State that prompted you to want to do that?
I mean, it's stuff we've kind of been going in and out of all year, and maybe some different coverages. And I mean, I think they're great, complement to our base defense. But if you're not playing extremely hard before you get to those, it's a problem. And so that's just what I felt. I just felt like our ball pressure really dropped off. I thought our bigs weren't playing the way they're capable of playing, and then. I really challenged the guys at halftime to pick me up. I mean, today, us coaches aren't perfect either, and rally around that, and the guys did a great job and picking us up to start out that second half and kind of getting us a comfortable lead.
You talk about that you have the luxury of, if things don't go well outside, you have the luxury of going inside. You did that. You've done that a lot.
Well, I'm going inside first. For me, we always want to go inside, attack inside out. I think Zoo's a special player. He gets you so many easy 2-point baskets, that aren't sexy, but they just add up. And you look at a lot of those runs we've had over the course of this year. It's Zoo getting 2 or 3 layups to get us going, whether it's in transition, then finding one on a duck in, then throwing in a jump hook or getting an offensive rebound. That's beautiful basketball.
Is there an ideal number that you want to hit in terms of paint points?
A lot. No, I don't have an ideal number. Just a lot more than the other team.
Anything different from Zoo over the last 5 games because he's.
I think Zoo. Obviously, it's not rocket science. I think Zoo got off to a really good start. Then he hurt his ankle, and he's a soldier, and he toughed it out and gave us some minutes when he wasn't at 100%. Not many guys would do that. And then I think now he's back to 100%. I don't think it's any more complicated than that.
You talk about the tricky stuff. We were talking about defensively. Was there anything offensively you think you over?
Maybe, yeah, for sure. Always something. I think as a coach, you got to be careful. I have a little saying I always keep in my office. It's effort, ... before execution. I think sometimes as coaches, we get a little too cute, and at the end of the day, nothing beats great effort.
Your turnovers are down the last few games
Yeah.
compared to what it was. You must be pleased about that. Any other concerns that you kind of need to work on?
The list is too long, and we don't have enough time, to go over those. There's always things coming up, and at this time of year, it's these seasons are long, and coaches and players, we wear it, sometimes, and so sometimes I think you just got to get back to the basics and tighten up the fundamentals and understand, sometimes you make so many adjustments in scouting that maybe the players and the coaches forget what the base is, and so sometimes you just got to get back to those basics, and we're probably getting close to that point.
Was there any part of this, though, that just, you have Oregon coming up, you beat Oregon State pretty good earlier this season, that's just maybe not so easy to come out and play 100%?
Listen, if it's not easy to come out and play 100%, I got the wrong kind of guys, and so I'm not blaming it on that because I know I got the right guys. And I think you chalk it up to Oregon State, you give them a little bit of credit, and maybe human nature got us a little bit. But at the end of the day, if we're hemming and hawing over a 14-point, conference win, we're probably nitpicking a little bit. So I don't care what the margin is, I just care about the result.
What are your thoughts going into Saturday's game against Dan Allman and the Ducks? What do you think they're going to bring to
I think they're a really good team. Obviously he's a great coach, and it's a great program that he's done a really good job building a strong recent tradition. And I know for one, they're probably going to have their hands full tonight at Arizona State. And however that game turns out, I have a feeling we're going to get a great effort from Oregon Saturday night. And so we've got to be much better than we were in the first half, for sure.
You talked yesterday a little bit about your interaction with your coaches on the bench and whatnot, but specifically with Ricardo, it seems like the two of you at times get really intense during the game. What is he offering you?
Well, I
What do you
mean,
want from him?
we'll keep Ricardo and my private conversation to us. I mean, Ricardo and I, listen, we're like brothers, you know. So I think you're going to have a little bit of that, but I love Ricardo, and he helps me a ton. He's got a great basketball mind, and you know, he's not afraid to share his opinions sometime, and I need those opinions because there's a lot of times he's right.
Something specific though from him that he offers you during games, whether it's offense, defense?
I mean, nothing specific. I mean, we don't have position coaches or, you know, coordinators. We just coach basketball. I mean, the game, it's, you know, it one thing impacts the other. So I think it's important to be able to coach the whole thing, and that's what I ask our staff to do.
When you run the court like Zoo does, is that natural ability? Does he have to work on it? How does that kind of come about?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, it's the faster you start out, the better, right? Like, you can build on it a little bit, and there's some techniques and some tricks, you know, and a lot of it is just willingness. But you know, if you run hard and the ball never gets delivered, guys kind of stop running, right? So you got to do both, you know. And I thought we had those two at the start of the second half. I think somebody threw him an over-the-top pass, and he kind of bobbled it and kind of secured it right in front of our bench. And then I thought Kerr threw him a great one that he just, for whatever reason, couldn't gather. But, you know, those are the turnovers I'll live with because, you know, if we complete that, it's 2 points, you know. And so I love that threat, that thrust. And like I was saying earlier in the year, I think he's the best running big man in the country.
So you talk about it being different to start and it's on you. Is that the first time you've kind of thrown a curve at yourself or the team to change it up? Or?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, maybe these are things we've done, but, you know, I just think, you know, sometimes, you know, it's like I was saying earlier, you adjust, and then, you know, your players might be doing things that aren't part of the base just because, you know, like maybe some of those adjustments bleed into your base defense, and there's a time and place for the adjustments to be executed, but, you know, that's the time and place. They can't be all the time. So, you know, so I'll wear that.
Talking about Tabelis running the floor, Tommy, and in terms of the guards, Dalen had that one long pass in the first half. Do you want your guards, as soon as they get that rebound, hey, look up and see if there's a long outlet pass?
100%. I mean, look up, and you always want to throw ahead, and, you know, with a little bit of, you know, I mean, hopefully a good decision behind it. You know, I mean, we don't want to throw 50-50 balls. I mean, if it's 90-10, I feel good about it. And so, yeah, we practice that stuff every day.
There's a security guard. She works your games, and her name is Linda. Her claim to fame is that she was in the very first professional women's basketball game in the United States. When you hear something like that and somebody working here, what's your reaction to that?
I mean, that's cool. I mean, I'd love to meet her. You know, I mean, that's awesome. And this community's filled with a lot of really cool things like that. You know, I mean, I've met a lot of, you know, people that have, you know, kind of unique affiliations with the game of basketball just in my time at Tucson, and I love it. Yeah, that's really cool.
When you look at Oregon, obviously scouting their games, but the history of, I mean, they won 7 in a row against Arizona. I know it predated you, but do you want to see any of those games or no?
Nope.
Mean anything?
No interest.
And as far, it looks like just, you know, you guys have been undefeated at home. Do you guys, I know you're not huge on the big picture stuff, but just wondering if this is a game where.
Win the next one. I mean, to win the next one against a really good team. I mean, that's all I've been winning. I mean, you could give me any team, and that's what I'd be saying. Win the next one.
Any plans for college game day?
I don't know. I'll probably be watching it at Baja Cafe with all the rest of the T-Lokes. Isn't that what they call them? I'll probably be hanging with my T-Lokes, you know, at Baja Cafe. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll see what Nate give me my game plan, and he'll get me organized.
Do they want you to go on? Because sometimes they get.
I haven't seen a script. You know I wasn't asking for it, so I told them I don't want to know anything about it until you get me through this one. So we'll see what you know, he's got up his sleeve for me.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, have a good one. See ya.